Hello guys, today I'm gonna show you how to make a tank turret. This is the part where the connection between the main body and the turret are gonna be a problem. So, for example, when you make a turret and you put a bearing on here, you put it like this, and it spins, it'll usually collide with the body, like this, if it's motor parts at least. So if you wanna avoid that, you're gonna need a few things. The first thing is the smart engine and the smart stuff. This is from the modpack continuation mod. So that's for the piston lifting. You're also gonna need a piston, bearings. I usually use this kind of circle for a base on where to make the turret. So first you're gonna map out your area, so you'll have something like this, maybe bigger, maybe smaller, depending on what you have. So you're just gonna excavate it, get rid of everything, and then you're gonna have a hole. Well, then you're gonna build this, and that's like, ooh, I'm gonna make this, and then it'll all be fine and dandy. No, it won't be. So, what I'm gonna show you here is if you place down a piston, and then have this piston go up like this. You can build your turret like normal. Let's just say like this. These are for the edges. So here, then you grab a normal block, like this for example, and this will go over the entirety of your turret. Now, this is gonna collide of course, so you don't want that. So what you're gonna need is a smart engine. The smart engine will provide you with very fine controls over the piston, because I could put it on one and then extend it now. So if I just grab a switch for example, boop, oh, it's on, but now it's ugly and now there's a complete block in between. You don't want that. That's bad. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your get up here, take your smart engine, take a counter block. This will be the distance that the piston extends. So you're gonna hook this into the engine, this engine into the piston. Then you're gonna give it a value of, I recommend you do 0.25. That usually works for me. And then you see you have a very thin line in between. Or if you make it 0. Like this, it's even less. Probably make it even 0.1. That's even less, but this will probably collide since the hitboxes are jank sometimes. So use 2 or above. That's what I suggest you use. And if you do it now, if you make the turret turn, which I didn't do, smart me, but if you make the turret turn now, it'll not collide with the body itself. Also, another tip for if you do this, place another counter block down, make it dark gray, like this, hook it into the piston and give it a value of, let's say, 10,000, maybe 100,000. What this does is it gives it a stiffness, basically resilience to pushback. So if you land really hard, it'll stay the same distance. If I give it if it's a value of 1 for example, a bird can land on top of it and just push down the piston. That's not what you want. And you can give it another white input. And this is the speed at which the piston travels. And put this on 1 to avoid any, let's just say, problems. Yes, yeah, just avoid any problems. And if you make this turn now, it should not collide with the body itself. And it'll just be fine. I'm going to show you how I did that. I did that on the M1 Abrams here. As you can see, there is a very thin line in between here. That makes it controllable and doesn't collide with anything. It's really useful. So that's the tutorial. If you have any other questions, just ask. See ya.